Button. Sacrilegious. Not displaying the socially expected reverence for implicitly sacred ideals. Dutch or Dutch American slang usually used to describe someone's behavior or a particular event. Button! Button, he called me. I am Buddy. Welcome. Welcome. This is the, oh, this is the, what's going on here? Who's doing? There it is. There it is. This is the Joyful as an Empty Tomb Sunday service stream. Welcome back, Grim Grizz. Welcome back. We want what's best for you. Oh, really? That's cool, because we want what's best for you, too. Lobster monkey goose. Wisdom. No. You could have just screamed that. No. Oh dear. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
The list?
Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right? What room?
I want to cast Magic Missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile.
Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Now, sorry. Now we have a situation, because whenever that happens, those in the hive mind can earn bonuses to their savings throws by letting me know I'm muted. Whereas, you can see here, Dr. Lenny Time earned a +2 for telling me, being the first one to tell me, and Anime and Neutrino both earned a +4 because they used an emoji to tell me that I was muted. Now, only the first 3 that tell me, and those are the first 3, so everybody else knew not to. Anyway, but those folk now have to decide whether they want to use those bonuses on this save, on this welcome back resurrection save, or on the next stream save, where normally it happens after a savings throw, so they know it's for the next one. Now they have to choose. They have to choose twice. All the rest of you, however, need make only one choice: survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Okay, the survival resurrection roll is 8. Socialists, 7. Lovers of wisdom, Sophia, 6. Heart folks also coming in with a divine 7. 7. Indigo folk, disciple time. Welcome back, everybody. I hadn't made anything. I have no. Oh, hey, Chezi. I have made no plans really for this welcome back stream. I think we'll probably have to go over the clips we missed in our Beholder review on Friday, which could not happen due to being stricken, to being locked in the tomb of no broadcasting. Hey, Greek, welcome. Hello. Oh.
God loves me because he sent me Grim Grizz. I know he loves me.
Well, okay, since that's the random button I had to play, what happened last time? The stream that got us banned. When I went through the clips brought to the Broken Clock Tower Discord clip stream by the Reapers out there, the Reaper harvest, as it were. I aim to do on Fridays when I'm not stricken. There was some that didn't get played, and it was the first time we had invoked the it's got to have enough votes to get played system. So I put out this thread. I was like, you know what? If your stuff was good enough and it shouldn't have been missed, you put it in this thread. And only one person participated in that option, but here is from that.
Well, quite clearly, when we're talking about broken hearts, we're talking about a metaphor. And it's a metaphor for many different things. It could be a metaphor for disappointment. I think for the kind of restoration God intends to do for us, with us, to us, there's almost always breaking. I was just trying to get through the Exodus series, and Peterson pulled out his talking about, new ideas push out old ideas. Old wrong things have to die so that new things and better things can come in and grow. And, so how about a story from John 11 with the resurrection of Lazarus? it's a very interesting story because the story is set up in such a way that it's abundantly clear that Jesus is intent on letting Lazarus die and letting his friends Mary and Martha have their hearts broken by the death of their beloved brother. And when Jesus gets to the home, basically they tell him, if you had come sooner, you could have healed him. And Jesus again makes it clear that
they had me on the community strike. I totally wasn't allowed.
no, I've intended to break your hearts. Well, nice friend. And then when he gets to the tomb, he doesn't do a little, how do you like me now dance as he gets ready to call Lazarus out of the tomb.
Now, it's not documented that he did a "How do you like me now" dance when he brought. It's just not documented.
He weeps. So Jesus, in that sense, not only breaks the hearts of his friend, but allows his own heart to be broken in order for what will be a miracle that will cause him his death. Because, once you do something like this, no earthly power can let you live. And so this heartbreaking thing is very much a part of God's way of mending us. Sometimes it's other things, but
Can I? What, dude? You just invoked Jesus, and you want to? Can I? Chad, the alcoholic, welcome. Bringing up eulogies and dropping links in the chat. Chad, if you actually want me to get those links, you're gonna have to send them through Discord. I can't click on the ones in the StreamYard. I can just, when I click on them, it just highlights them, sir. I don't know if you know how this works. So here's my pompous sermon over the top of what Paul just said, also known as the fish stick sermon, which I have to think is what was intended in the clip of in the pineapple pizza left in the Discord. And I don't know why it wasn't this part and it started at Paul. I guess some people are thorough. But here it is. Run it, Grim. Okay. First, the last time I actually was physically in a church, the sermon was on that particular part of the Jesus story, and he made a big deal of something about shaking off the garments they wrapped Lazarus in.
Yep.
And I think that applies to a broken heart. But PVK opened with now we're speaking metaphorically. And like, though I am still so young and lovely, I've lived long enough to say bullshit. It's not a metaphor. Because in my lifetime, I have experienced what I call a broken heart. And if you'd like to know the contextual details, like Jacob in the shower naked and then in handcuffs, what happened is some lady who had taken my seed into her womb told me she cheated on me. And the entire center of my chest, like, it fell out my back as though that was the way gravity pulled. And there's not a metaphor. It's the reason we use the metaphor for a broken heart is because the physical pain that happens when it happens is oddly located in your chest.
Yeah.
And the reason for this is because if you like come into the woods and you meet a guy who speaks a different language and you try to communicate, you'd be like, I am, right? From here, you don't say, hey, I'm Grim Gris. No, I'm Grim, right? And so that's because that's where you center your identity self. And it's like when Peterson was talking about when you find out your wife cheated on you or whatever, your entire world collapses. And the world is like everything. Okay, what you consider yourself is you and everything you've attached through your heart and that you love, like as part of your life. Like all of that is you. And when part of that like turns like, oh, that was a lie, or falls off, and then like all of those, that's a big empty space where like all those fancy things you used to be able to do, all the controls to those have burnt off, and you have to regrow how to walk again and stuff. But that's everything is attached to your heart. And so if your heart is what broke, then like that's when you need God to come in. Bye, everybody.
Okay, so
There it was, the big preach-off. Vote for which one you thought was better with the thumbs on this video. If you thought Pastor Paul's was better, give this video a thumbs down. But if you thought mine was better, give this video a thumbs up. And welcome. Welcome to This Is What We Do Here. This is what we do here. The virtually not alone experience. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is the Risen stream, returning after my strike, and running through the clips we missed on Friday, or at least doing something. This one from Anami is called Claire's Grand Plan. This should be exciting.
Let me tell you my grand plan.
Stop it. Yes, we will. Just a second. Apparently brought to us in the hive mind is Claire's grand plan. Thank you, Anami.
Yes, let me tell you my grand plan. So, I mean, obviously, I would. Global secular Coronism is the goal, okay?
Mhm.
So, if the Americans adopt it first, then all its vassal states, and this includes Israel, will fall in line. So, if America adopts it, then and America needs it because it hasn't got an official religion. And the reason why it's so evil is because it hasn't got an official religion, and it's not too late to get it. Yes, let me.
To get itself one, I think. Rascal! Welcome, everybody. And now, what that might have been, what that could have been the whole time, brought to you by a semi-auto, by our good friend semi-auto.
Like there's something that happened about 10 years ago, which is a good example of this. So it's sad because it is related to our situation now, and it's sad. So when Pope Francis was first elected, he had this ceremony. I don't know if you saw it. He was standing there, and he had on his right hand a boy dressed in blue, and on his left hand a girl dressed in red. And both of them, they let go of these doves into the air, and the reason was because they were praying for peace in the Ukraine. Okay, so they were praying for peace in the Ukraine, and they let these doves go out in the air. And as soon as the doves were released, a white bird and a black bird attacked the doves within seconds. And this is all like, there are like pictures of this. Like, it's just something that everybody experienced. And so you could say, really, like, is that not like an actual mythological event? I mean, that's a mythological event. And it not only is it mythological, but it's showing itself to be truer and truer as time progresses. And so if you told that story to a kind of 19th century historian today, like in the 10 years, would they just tell you, no, that didn't happen? Because it's way too mythological in its structure.
Mythological laws brought to us by probably Third Wave. Oh, work on your volume there, Third Wave. Oh, what? Shh. Next up on the hit parade,
we thought of life by
Gavin with Dance and Sing. Thank you, Gavin.
We thought of life by analogy with a journey, with a pilgrimage, which had a serious purpose at the end. The thing was to get to that end, success or whatever it is, or maybe heaven after you're dead. But we missed the point the whole way along. It was a musical thing, and you were supposed to sing or to dance while the music was being played.
I'm doing it again. I'm doing it one more time. Sorry.
We thought of life by analogy with a journey, with a pilgrimage, which had a serious purpose at the end. The thing was to get to that end, success or whatever it is, or maybe heaven after you're dead. But we missed the point the whole way along. It was a musical thing, and you were supposed to sing or to dance while the music was being played.
Hi. I'm General Griswold Gaius Grim of the 1st LARP Ingression, and they reminded me last week that we're in an information war. But here's our clip stream from Neutrino. Anyway, not that one. Here's our from Neutrino, old school.
Like 17th century England that it came from, while for New Zealand, it acts more like the 19th century Britain that settled it. This leads to another interesting point where the US has a fossilized social structure from the medieval/early modern Europe that created it. Let me repeat that. The US has the social and political structure of a medieval country. Before you Europeans start snickering, that doesn't bode well for you guys. An interesting point I read is that the US was founded by rural people who kept an older European social norm, while the culture in the cities was that which won out in Europe. Thus, the US maintains an older, more antiquated order. Some of the examples of this is that the US Constitution is closest to the federalized, decentralized states of medieval Europe, like the Holy Roman Empire, rather than a modern European country. Modern European countries had strong centralized governments run by unified elites. The US, meanwhile, maintained the earlier model of less strong class divisions, but strong regional ones. In the US, like medieval Europe, showing how the US...
Yes, I'm pretty sure most of that was accurate. Meanwhile, in the chat, Chad the Alcoholic said, "You are not a wave to be pushed around by life. You are the ocean." All right, that's a background. It doesn't do anything. What?
Yeah, keep Dan in the dark.
Hey, it's Dolly Beaufort-Nell. Greetings. Blessed Easter, Dolly. Good to see you. Yes, Chad gave us the ear because that was quiet, but it wasn't quiet because of my fault. It was Red Pill's fault. What?
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Well, let's see if there's any cowbell in this clip from Gavin Palmer, which he called knowledge generators.
In a sense, ChatGPT on its own is reconstituting what us humans have already written on the web and in books and things like that. It's putting it together in novel ways, but it's sort of the same pieces. It's not creating new knowledge. As soon as you have actual computation in the loop, and what I would talk about as irreducible computation, you can build what amounts to new knowledge. In a sense, ChatGPT
day there was a computer that was so powerful that it could accurately describe every single object on Earth, that we would be able to figure out the past.
Yeah.
And La Paz was saying that not only that, but he proposed for the entire universe, like every single object, electron, everything in the atom in the entire universe, that you would not only be able to show the past, but also predict the future.
That's right. So this is called Laplace's demon, although he never called it that. Pierre-Simon Laplace was a brilliant guy. He deserves to be much more well known. So I think I've mentioned his name in every book that I've ever written for totally different reasons. He helped invent probability as we currently understand it, for example. But yeah, so Isaac Newton came up with the rules of classical mechanics in the 1600s. But it wasn't until Laplace around the year 1800 that this implication of classical mechanics was realized. It's a clockwork universe.
As a thought experiment, I had an idea once that
if it would automatically insert like a fade out or a dramatic pause, that would be much more convenient to me. But now also from Neutrino, Alice in Chains?
And rivers, but they were all distorted and twisted. And then I saw this group of people, and they were all wearing masks that looked like animals. There was a fox, a bear, a snake, and a few others that I couldn't quite identify. And they were all dancing around a fire, chanting something in a language I didn't understand.
Interesting. And what happened next?
You know, that's the best part. It's like there's a little bird now going, mute, 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 mute. It's the best. It's worth an infinite amount of savings throws. However, Neutrino, you get twice, and Greek, you get +2 on these special savings throws that are required because, oh my God, it's AI Carl Jung and AI Jordan Peterson. And I wanted to remind you that you guys need savings throws against this sort of mind control. Thank you, Dolly, for we're going to be trying to incorporating more sign language into body language in the savings throws now. But you get it against the mind control, but you have to choose. You choose. Bonus roll a 10 for the socialists. You get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, or art. Bonus roll 14 for the wisdom, folks. Heart, yeah, yes, like that. Choose. You choose which one. And if it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control that follows. If it's under 10, you're going to take full damage from the AI, Carl Jung, and this other guy. All because Neutrino brought us the clip. He named Alice in Chains. In Chains. So choose. Survivalists, 8. Hope you got your bonuses. Socialists, oh my, take the floor roll because you got a 3 on that one. Lovers of wisdom, Sophia-ists, 14. You're doing great. Hard folks with a solid number of transformation, 11. And Indigo kids. Ooh, just the 3 of us. Just the 3 of us. Here we go.
But they were all distorted and twisted. And then I saw this group of people, and they were all wearing masks that looked like animals. There was a fox, a bear, a snake, and a few others that I couldn't quite identify. And they were all dancing around a fire, chanting something in a language I didn't understand.
Interesting. And what happened next?
Well, I started to feel really uneasy, like something bad was about to happen. And then I saw this figure approaching me. It was a man, but he was wearing a hooded cloak, so I couldn't see his face. He handed me a book, and when I opened it, I saw that it was full of strange symbols and drawings. And then, the dream ended.
Fascinating. Let's break this down piece by piece. Let's start with the wolf in the mirror. What do you think that represents?
Well, I've always been interested in wolves. They're powerful and majestic animals, but they can also be dangerous and unpredictable. I think the wolf in the mirror represents my own wild, untamed nature. It's a part of me that I've always been drawn to, but also a part of me that I'm afraid of, forests and rivers.
Oh, and it's also a part of me I'm afraid of. Happy Easter, everybody, says Stephanie Christos. Phlebos, Rascal dropping hearts. Greetings. I see the assassins have failed. Thanks, good to see you too, Stumps. And they never had a chance, says Neutrino. Greek with a happy Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. Easter? Easter. Easter. Man, that sounds an awful lot like Ishtar. Ishtar, doesn't it? Isn't that weird? Oh, God has conquered death. That's good news. That's good news. You know, it's like we're at the Risen stream. And now, thanks to the invocation of the Stumps right there, I bring to you a special pap monster for me. A special Easter pap monster. You ready? Okay, here it goes. It was after Easter. It wasn't Easter, I don't think anymore. I think it was after Easter, but I was driving across the state of Oklahoma in the visit to a meat space friend. And on this occasion, I was driving along and I was passing a church or maybe it was a barn. I don't know. But for whatever reason, there was a sign out front of the barn. And outside of this, on the sign, now it wasn't long after Easter. And this occurred to me when I read what was on the sign. But on this sign, it said, "He is risen." And what made this special, like, okay, so it's Easter, and they're putting out Easter signs, and that's the Easter message. It's like, yay, the Christ is reborn. It came out the tomb, hooray. We have victory over death, yay, 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 right? But on this very special occasion, which makes it a past authoring, part of my past. I'm authoring it for you now, but no, it was authored, and I'm telling you of it now. But... What? Okay. I got to hold in my head, in the imagination, the phrase "He is risen" and some guy putting it on a sign. But in my head, I got to the cast, the person putting it on the sign as like one of the what do you call it? Apostles, or just, the crowd that had gathered around Jesus before they killed him, like his friends, like from the emotional angle of like, not only is the Christ the Lord risen or whatever, but that was my friend, bro, and he was dead, bro, and he's back, and that level of the joy of the empty tomb. Like, for whatever reason, my mind was in a shape that allowed me to experience the phrase "He is risen" from the perspective of, like, it's like to slide into the as if that's my friend, bro. And so, because like in the Bible Belt, they pitch a personal relationship with Jesus. So maybe that was a triggered phrase for it. But like, dude, my friend's back, right? So anyway, there's the "He is I've now delivered on the pap smear and the "He is risen" part of the stream. And now I'll return to running through the clips that we would have went through on Friday. Had Yes, from the perspective of a disciple, Dolly, or one of the ones that were there with him. Like, that's my bro, and like, yes, Dust, yes, like that. He is risen. That's the one, guys. Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Easter, everybody. And now, from the clip parade, our first, I think quite possibly our first clip stream entry from Josh Dixon.
So
a beautiful 14-second one, so I should already have the next one ready. But here we go. Chad defines blasphemy.
Blasphemy against the Holy Spirit would be to prevent somebody else from breathing. Forever, right? Like cutting them. So blasphemy against the Holy Spirit would be to prevent somebody else from breathing. Forever, right?
I tried to do the next clip, but it doesn't. It seemed maybe it's gone. Oh, the video has been removed for violating YouTube's terms of service. Thanks, Lynn. Meanwhile, from Anami.
One of my favorite images in the Bible is the death of Jacob. One of my favorite images in the Bible is the death of Jacob.
Well, thank you very much, Richard.
One of my
Yeah, we're not heading straight for another strike. I'm pretty sure. However, Neutrino got my back with what I would have clipped, since you can also not do that while you're being stricken, as it turns out. So
apart from the fact that there are
so thanks, Neutrino, for this solid. Oh no, what have I done?
one of my favorite images in
apart from the fact that there are other forces within you, including you, that give you the ability to control it, even if it has some autonomy of its own. Like,
and the you is the thing that the meaning crisis deals with, because the meaning crisis is the anxiety that there's no you there, that all you are is the combination of all of this emergent property, and then subject to all of the spiritual forces. There's no you there. And in many ways, if you look at Lewis and the Great Divorce, this entire drama is in fact the creation of you through all of this. He is the potter, we are the clay. And in the end, Joe is doing this very
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what. If $50 comes in today, then next time I'll preload the clips before I stream, so they don't have to hear that little. Oh, he loaded that one. I hear it in the background. The first 3 seconds, I heard it. Thanks to Upcycle Club for this clip. PVK remarks on the Pajot hyper jump.
Peugeot is doing this very intentionally. Jordan, I think, is still, he's the guy straddling two sides of the land masses that are moving apart. Peugeot has made the jump. Peugeot is already off modernity, and he's off modernity to the degree that he's pre-modern and whatever happens after modern. Peugeot is doing this.
And now, I think quite possibly the first entry from Pick Justice. The spirit moves things.
3 thing. Jesus in John 3 says, how do you can't see the spirit, but you see what the spirit moves. And in many ways, you would understand that a Greek war is part of that thing. Jesus.
And now, fresh in from Gavin Palmer. Way to go on the conciseness of your reaping, folks. That's it. When I do prepare properly, that's going to be super helpful. It won't be stressful like it is today at all. Here's a nice 21 seconds from Gavin Palmer telling sons about mammoth hunting.
Tell this to my son when he tells me he's like lazy about something. He's going to be turning 9. And I tell him, Billy, do you understand in your age, you were hunting for mammoth with me already? So like, don't tell me you're too lazy to pick up your socks from the floor, right? Because we were hunters. It's built into you. You're not too weak. This is just like a modern facade of laziness on top of it. Okay, now, I tell this to my son when he...
There's a modern facade of laziness riding over top ye, but there's a mammoth hunter down inside.
You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension of not only sound and vision, but that of a hive mind, a journey into a virtual land of both shadow and substance, a place where you can embody breaking the fourth wall, whose boundaries are only limited by one's imagination. Somewhere in between agency and a rabbit hole of saving throws, welcome to the Virtually Not Alone Zone.
No idea what to do. One must accept this situation. Finding a way out is beyond one's rational powers. Only the irrational soul, with its transcendent function, can find a way forward. Only the experience of soul, the discovery that one has a soul, and can even become one's soul, offers any solution for a loss of soul. Jung cured patients with mental illness who were considered lost causes, and some of his patients have said that he was the only analyst who could analyze dreams without hearing them, as if he could, at times, stare right into their souls. Jung, however, rarely identifies as a healer. He was a man concerned and affected by his patients, helping them cope with life without passing judgment on their final decisions. The doctor is effective when he himself is affected. It is here that Jung's model of dialectical exchange between analyst and patient is significant.
Hobbes, for example, who I suspect was autistic, he saw the whole world, he argued the whole world was a system of contracts. Well, that's indeed what it is for the highly systematizing autistic person like Sheldon Cooper. The whole world is indeed a series of logical contracts.
Hi, Embody. Remember, Embody.
There is no agency. We want
what's best. It appears we're having a terrible argument in the Hive Mind chat. One person says, the Chris show says Peugeot has gone off the deep end. But then the controversial statement from Stumps, I could totally rock PVK's suit. I'm sure it looks better on him, though. Which the spicy William Tarbush responds with, PVK is tall. I'd look frumpy in his suit. Here's a happy Easter all from Zach M. And we turn us to our next clip. Don't Go Crazy from our now proficient Reaper. Pick. Share this tab instead.
Crazy guy on the sidewalk in the city talking to himself. And then people aren't even looking at him. They're not even listening to any of what he's saying. They're just walking by like he doesn't exist. You don't exist. That's crazy because you don't exist anymore to these people because you're living in a world that is not theirs because you see the world so differently from other people around you. They just can't interact with you. And that increases the craziness because that's kind of what being crazy is when you're not living in the same world as others. And then nobody listens to you and nobody interacts with you. You understand what I'm saying? So when I say don't go crazy, I'm very serious because when you have a new insight that's of a high level, there's the danger of going crazy. Crazy guy.
That hits a little close to home. Here's from Anami, which might help me deal with these crises.
So we had the COVID crisis, the lockdown crisis,
the idea of having people bring clips to run on the stream sounded so brilliant or at least useful. But when you realize you're in a place where you're not allowed to tell the truth to your friends, you know certain things might not last.
I think so. We had the COVID crisis, the lockdown crisis, the what was the other thing? Oh, a food crisis, an energy crisis, a cost of living crisis, etc., etc. It never ends. I wonder what they're coming up with this year. I mean, you know, the only thing that really still helps is to have a sense of humor, not take any of this all too seriously. I think
And so there is a relativity to observations. And so there is a relativity. And so there is a relativity to observations. It's not necessarily the case that two apparently contradictory things can't both be true. It depends on how the observation is done. And so there is a
It depends on how the observation is done. Plato's cave allegory. Crazy, crazy for feeling so lonely. Yeah, I've gone temporarily insane that way before too. More than once. Crazy for feeling so blue. Whatever, guys. Whatever. Have some of this then. You're clicking too fast, Grim. How's it going, everybody? Is this thing on? CHINO says there's a lot of clicks to make up for the past week. Yeah. However, the last I checked, the channel was mere 8s away from the 1,000 landmark, which I don't know. I could bother to apply and find out for a fact that being under strike prevents it from happening. But I think maybe just hitting over 1,000 would trigger something. So I'm kind of waiting to see if that happens. And now that I can stream again, perhaps more people will be drawn to what do they say? This virtually not alone experience, and where you can like, share, and subscribe, and comment for extra Hoodie Duncan. Today we're doing the clip reaping harvest that we should have done on Friday had we not been on a stricken, and Gavin bringing us a clip apparently from one of the first conversation he ever had with me, which was a fringe encounter in a different location and a land far, far away. For Gavin and I at this point go way, way back.
Realized how much we
volume. Do it. Good prayers and spells brought to the clip stream from Gavin Palmer himself.
I really realized how much you can't be around someone else without them having a certain amount of mind control over you. Like, unless you're alone or a highly controlled like guru that you can control your attention, if someone speaks, you can't help but hear them. If I say purple elephant with a stupid green hat, like, you guys couldn't help it. That was mind control. I put that in your fucking heads. And I love Peterson's idea of we need to be more careful how we speak. I think there's something really deep to every thought is a prayer. Like, God hears everything, and everything you say is a spell. So I try my best to, with my attention, with my conversation and everything, to be on the side of good with everything I say.
And people like Hillel and Mumford, and particularly Mumford, actually explained that this thing, the machine, the technological society, whatever you want to call it, is very old. It's not something that's just popped up with the computer. So Mumford talks about the first machine society being ancient Egypt. And he said that the Egyptian culture had basically created a machine made of human parts. That was the phrase he used. The human parts.
There is something I should note. As far as I know, he still exists, Dust. I told him not to get a maid, but it is after April. Somebody should probably check. Hey, Matsy, good to see you. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Risen stream, the return from after the strike. There was a nice emotional pap smear in the middle that relates to the title of the show, but that's gone now. That's gone now.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
So I have so many toys to play with now. So many toys. We are going through a Reaper harvest since I had nothing prepared for this stream, and it's been I couldn't, and because it could not be done Friday, and we are on April 6th. April 6th, brought in from Anami. He calls it. Why does it? Is there a way to turn that autoplay off? Is it possible? He calls it Art Haniel on classical education.
I think a key part of an actual classical education model is this idea that children are born persons. And so you have to form them with the understanding that they already have some of their own, personality, tastes, whatever. And you might not be able to succeed with every single child. Just the combination of situation, personality, whatever's going on with their home. I feel like classical schools, because they have to advertise and get people to come in this world of schools that give guaranteed results or claim to, it messes with the classical education model to the point where it almost inevitably deforms. But
almost inevitably. What? Up from the grave Grizz rose to triumph over his foes. We all know that there is no agency. Any living gent can see doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see. Doing what is right for me increases all our agency. Next we have what? This one? Is that the same? That's the same. That's the same. You needed this one from Clint D with 3 upvotes with our Indigo 7 voting system.
Version of the Bible, and people would come up to John Steck and they'd be like, I've got the problem with this one translation that you have here. And he's basically like, you've got one problem, you should see my list. Because of course, translations are done by committee. You can't have a spiritual home if there's no one to share your home with. Then it's just a spiritual cell. And if all you in fact have is a spiritual cell and you're a community of one, or you're a community of just your consciousness Congress, you don't really have a community and you're not really going to have home.
What if you're in a cell, but you have a hive mind chat that makes you feel virtually not alone? And they want what's best for you. And they understand that after you killed the Patreon and moved over to the Buy Me a Coffee thing, you've had one person and you're now making $6 a month. Dude, do not make it about. Hi, Alphabet. Do you have the full libretto for the Lobster Monkey March? Though I don't even know what a full libretto is, bro, but I bet you we can make one together. Or have ChatGPT give us one. Get saved today. You did get bonus saves already in the savings throw, but this is turning into quite the long show. We're now up over an hour of streaming. Is this turning into a marathon? You know, Grim. What, man? I tell you. Jerry Lewis. Yeah. It was a major influence on us. Yeah. And he used to do these things called telethons. And I think we could turn this into one. What? What? Dude, what?
And while I was there, I worked actually in the beer factory, which is very.
And now another one from Clint D. Also with upvotes of 3.
And while I was there, I worked actually in the beer factory, which is very interesting because I don't drink and I never have. And when I used to come home from work, I sort of radiated about 15 feet all around me, a sort of smell of beer. And I could see people thinking, how can that man walk? But anyway, while I was working in the beer factory, because it was cold and chilled and you were under heavy concrete and you didn't have any listening, there's no listening devices. And by and large, the work I was doing involved me being on my own for most of the day. I started thinking, which is always dangerous. I came up with the kind of questions like, is this it? Am I going to be condemned to do this the rest of my life? Is there any meaning? Does it make any difference what you do with your life? And all those kind of questions again. And I thought, look, there are really only 2 ways to deal with these kind of questions. One is to get drunk and stay drunk, or take drugs, or get distracted. You know what I mean? Just like, don't think about them. Do something else, but for goodness sake, don't think about them. Or face up to them. While I was there, I worked actually in the beer factory.
Now, I have something relatively special. Alphabet says the words for the song, and I remember that earlier in my live stream, while I was spending my visual occupation attention at the Broken Clock Tower Discord, in the section called VNA Logos, somebody, J Pineapple Pizza, did a lyric suggestions for the song, and I'm going to try those now, because remember, Embody, we're in this together. Wait, not that. We're in this together. What am I doing? This one? Yes. So now lyrics by J Pineapple Pizza. I don't know when to start though. Listing ideas for the BNA song. We'll edit this as I go along. Agency unload. Discover what is known. To reap what others have sown. Are my words the right tone? Give my dog needs more cowbell.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Oh, that chanty I just did? We all know that one. Do we all know chanty? That's from season 2. That's from LARPgate season 2, man. We're in LARPgate year 3 now. We're at Fahrenheit 5, Civilization Pap, New Jerusalem, Neradime. What? You expect me to go fetch you the old chanty? Oh. You know, it's the fact that Pet Cow or even Chad didn't really like do the chanty means it's not that great. That's what I took. That was my takeaway. I don't know. I don't know, but all right. Next up, this one's got a little fire emoji under it. How does a parent grieve the loss of a child? Yeah, let's bring it up a notch in good times here on the clip stream. The Reaper's Harvest
Encounter
ketchup,
with a
the resurrection ketchup of the Reaper's Harvest here on the Grimgris stream. This should have been done Friday.
a mother who lost a child in a tunnel collapse. And after the conversation, she went and sat, just quietly in the dirt. I knew every thought that was going through her mind. And I stopped and made myself feel it. And I knew she was thinking, because she had just recounted the story to me. What was the final moment of my child's life?
Yeah.
Did he cry to me?
Yeah.
Was he in terror in that crush of dirt and stone and darkness?
Mm.
What was the final panic, horrified moment of his life like? And I know that tortured her. I could see it. Her hair had fallen out because she was in so much pain. And she was sitting there with her hands folded quietly with her eyes. And I knew she was thinking it. And I stopped and I made myself imagine it. Because that's the only way I could do some true encounter with a.
Well then, yeah, this guy sheds light on cobalt and the conditions of those who mine this element essential to modern tech. He was on Rogan in December. Okay, but next up from Pick, why do we have all these questions?
There's a dude I'm working with, and I asked him today if what his thoughts are on God and stuff, and he's like, yeah, I'm a couple of years ago I started reading the Bible and stuff, and I haven't joined a church or anything, but he's like, I really think a lot about it. And then we started talking about stuff, and exactly like what you're saying, like there's nowhere near the amount of questions. Like he has the standard questions, which is interesting to me how like deeply theologically interested in this stuff that we are over here. And I wonder how important it really is. And if you're like me, it probably has a lot to do with neuroticism and ego. There's a dude I'm working with, and
We're talking about prime real estate here. So if you need to remodel,
I'm not so anxious to move.
That was probably best I was muted for that one. Here's one from just for that gargantuan engineering term from Upcycle Club.
we're talking about prime real estate here. So if you need to remodel,
I'm not so anxious to move. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, this is enormous gargantuan engineering.
But it's theoretically possible. I mean,
yes.
it sounds like the engineering is a huge feat, but there's no fundamental physics you have to discover.
Right. That's a thing that's hard for people to grasp. But of course, we take for granted now feats of engineering that 1,000 years ago were unimaginable.
According to the ancient alien guys, you guys can't even reproduce what's out there.
Beyond belief. But the virtue of science is that it tells us roughly how to do it now. We're talking about engineering we will need to start in 5 billion years or so, or sooner if we want to really do some nice refurbishing. And we can do it using the law.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do you do when your identical twin likes something terrible? What do you do? What do you do? And now a clip from
what C.S. Lewis?
Oh, from Mostly Not Working.
the point that he makes in The Great Divorce is something that I've voiced a number of times, where a person who grumbles all the time eventually becomes a grumble. That there is a progressive quality to evil that if consistently and habitually, willfully indulging in it, you continue to lose agency. And we call this reciprocal narrowing. It could be basically a, let's say, a process theology version of damnation.
Remember, Embody, there is no agency. We want what's best.
Normally it's just embarrassing when I mute myself, but on this special occasion, I have a new pet bird in the background, and every time I'm muted, it goes mute, mute, and it makes it all worthwhile. All right, the next clip we're running is very, very dangerous mind control. And now you just lost that nat 20 because I was muted. So take the +2 bonus. Choose Survivalist this time. With a nat 1, you've lost all bonuses. Socialist with an 18. Lovers of Wisdom 19. Heart folks. Solid Baker's Coven 13. Indigo folks. Well, that's a 10. What? Okay, so here it is. It's dangerous. It's mind control. Here it comes. Maybe.
There's a dude I'm working with.
No.
And I asked him today if
No, not that one. Not. I pasted the wrong. Oh, just a second. From Lynn. This one here.
And even if we could generate that much electricity, which we can't, we couldn't transmit that much electricity. We don't have enough transmission capacity. So that's two problems that make it, unrealistic. I mean, the number of batteries required and all that aside, it isn't particularly relevant. I'm going to count that as a win, by the way.
I don't know that. I'll take that. That's beautiful. We'll do it again.
Particularly relevant. I'm going to count that as a win, by the way.
I don't know that the next 30 seconds is worthwhile, but here we go.
I'm going to pat myself on the back and say, yeah, bring it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Familiar with this game. I'm very good at it. Yeah. I'm not going to win. The game you're not going to win. Precision is my thing. You think scientists are precise? Yeah, they got nothing on me, baby. Oh, yeah. I could do that all day long. It's way
not the victory stretch.
Too much fun, though. I really shouldn't indulge. But it is near Christmas, so maybe that's my Christmas.
Maybe that's my Christmas present.
They were fraudulent. There was a certain fraudulence of spirit because they took the name of Christ without following in the way of his suffering, the very way that would make them conscious of the conditions of their own existence such that they could turn in the direction of them and be naked before them and know themselves in their wake. And he looked out at the world and the Christendom of his day and said, I don't know what you all are doing, but whatever it is, it's not Christianity, right?
Remember. There is no agency. We want
But the world and the Christendom of his day and said, I don't know what you all are doing, but whatever it is, it's not Christianity, right? You can't be a Christian except to follow in the wake of the suffering of Christ. Not because we're fetishizing pain. I think that's often the impression that people have. It's like, no, 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 that's not it. Is that suffering is a necessary way through to oneself, without which we cannot be made awake inside of that dream. They were fraudulent.
If you take an all or nothing position on anything, you will definitely find comrades. You will easily find a community. I've sworn allegiance to this one simple idea. What I tried to show in the Potter books, and what I feel very strongly myself, we should mistrust ourselves most when we are certain. If you take
to be able to follow along. First of all, there's a crucifix on the end of each rosary, and that's where you begin. After the crucifix, there's a number of beads. There's one bead on its own, and then there's 3 beads together, and another bead on its own before you get to the Mary of symbol, or the symbol of Mary, sorry. Anyway, the first crucifix, that's where you say the Apostles' Creed. And the first thing you do when you get the rosary, just like you do if you're a Catholic and you're praying, you can pray. You usually cross yourself with to the Father to your forehead, to the Son to your stomach, and to the Holy Spirit across your shoulders. So you say to the Father and Son to the Holy Spirit, Amen. And different religions cross themselves differently, but this has been around for a very long time, and it's something that people use to get themselves in the right frame of mind to be present, to be able to follow along. First of all, there's a
to follow along. All right, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, unless I scrolled wrong, that's the end of the clips brought to us in the clip stream. There's a lot of hot action going on in the loom room. And as I did want to mention to those of you who know about the secret off channel, or to those of you who don't know about the secret off channel, some things did occur while Iced was banned. And they're over here on this channel called the After Dark, which I'm not showing you at all. And it looks like this. It looks like this. And the most important of which was the no, what it was a live stream yesterday. The Kings North OOT one. I'll bring it over here probably. Don't look at that other shit. That's old shit. Don't no. Just play this and go away. What? Oh, the links if you want to come in and talk. It's there. You can have that. You can be at that part. Fix this. Shh. Don't now. Now you can full screen it. No, still too soon. Still too soon. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Matt C. in the Hive Mind chat says, I just rolled a nat critical on wisdom. What does that mean? For a mind control save, it means not only, like if I was your DM in that situation, not only would the mind control not affect you, but you'd see the angle, the hook of it, of how it was affecting others as you avoided that hook yourself. Hello. Have you ever wanted bad advice from somebody on the internet? Well, enter your question into the Hive Mind chat now, and you can have some on this special, very special, risen, joyful as an empty tomb live stream. Free bad internet advice, just like I gave Matt C. Welcome. You can also join the stream by clicking that link that says starts with StreamYard up yonder over there. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Now is your time for free bad internet advice. Oh, here we go. We have a contestant. Freedom's Lunch. Freedom's Lunch has sent in a question to this live stream. How do I stop compulsively smelling my hands? Don't grow a mustache and just do it when you do this. It makes it look like you're thinking. Sitting here on my phone, the internet is where I roam. My chat is in the zone. I'm literally not alone. The devices that I own, reading clips with the flow. As a indigo, this corner's now my home. All right, wait, nothing's coming in with a question mark. Laura Freeman just got here. What's going on, Laura? Laura, we've had a great and wonderful stream where we went through the Reaper's Harvest. We should have done Friday. I told a beautiful pap smear story for Easter, and now we're doing free advice from the internet guy. Just put something with a question mark there in the Hive Mind chat, and free bad advice. Here we go. Here we have a contestant from Ansel Man in the Hive Mind chat with, how do I get a bramble branch off a sheep when it's behind the fence and moves away, like this afternoon? What you do is you go over to, you walk around the other side of the fence. You walk around the other side of the fence and you grab the sheep around the head real close. Okay, and then you pull its little ear back, right? And you whisper in it like this. You say, if you don't quit struggling, I'm going to get the Velcro gloves. All right. See, you can tell I'm not over 1,000. If I was a channel that was over 1,000, I wouldn't struggle so much to do a Q&A because people would have questions for me. But look at me struggling to get anybody to ask me anything. Like Lucy sitting with the doctor is inside. So, in lieu of that, we'll move on to the final portion of today's live stream. This fancy pants, you've changed the brand. Go back to this brand and then go click it. And this risen, joyful as an empty tomb stream. With a misguided meditation. If you're not into these weird meditation rituals, you should probably just go get ready. Compose the comment you're going to leave underneath the live stream for bonuses to next one. But if you are into that sort of thing, we're now going to do a meditation that leads you nowhere, but it's where my brain got stuck, and I'd like to share it with you now. We'll start with the nice. Wait, I have what's the hive mind? Are you saying important things? Oh, don't be careful. Don't with the driving. Hey, Nahama, good to see you. Oh, wait, the question. Should you put marshmallow peeps in the microwave? Not if it's your microwave. Not if it's your microwave. Oh, can I get an app update on how CHINO planning is coming? CHINO planning is currently full of a great amount of concern because we have to have at least 20 people camping with us to not get kicked out for not having enough people, and we're at like 15. So that the planning is to push harder now that I can stream again, to be like, hey, you really don't have to go and listen to these three guys talk to come camp with us. In fact, you can get the party ready while we're doing it. And but yes, that's the current state of the CHINO planning. However, I have managed not to touch any of the funding, which is coming in via the GoFundMe, which means it will happen. But I have not sabotaged it to my lack of control at this point. So hooray. Hooray. Oh, wait, another question mark from Josh Garrison. If they are called optional accessories, why do people get mad when they're left off? Because everybody wants everything, and if you're not getting all the options, then you're being insulted. Insulted! Oh, and now, wait, the meditation? Yes, but you need in-between branding now. What, like this? No, not like this beautiful, virtually not alone billboard you found in the VNA logo section of the Discord, sir. Not that at all. More like this one. And now, no, take it off. Take it off. Whoa! And now for a misguided meditation. Oh, where my thoughts escaping. Oh, where my music's playing. Take a deep breath and visualize a blue sky over a green field of hills. Exhale the deep breath now. Take another breath. Imagine a washing machine rolling down the hill. Clunk, 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 like that. And exhale the breath. Now take another deep breath in. And imagine someone next to you pointing a finger at the washing machine and saying, "There's someone in there." And that's where I am. How, like, fast an appraisal of a situation is like when you come across someone, say, beating their dog, and it's like, quit beating that. There's someone in there. Is there a personality in there? the personality is a thing that can suffer like I'm a personality. I don't know. There's the misguided meditation. That's where my brain is. I get hung up on this washing machine. There's someone in there. And I don't know what the dangers of doing misguided meditations with people on the internet is. But hey, you get savings throws, eh? Eh? Oh, we have a question. How long should I bake these pies? Well, Clint, it depends on if you've sabotaged your sense of smell with smoking or not. If your nose is functional, the correct amount of time to bake the pies is when your nose tells you they're ready. They've been baked. The right amount of particles are going into the aroma and floating through the air and reaching your olfactory sensors to let you know. Just trust your nose is how long, but always do an extra 2 minutes on the timer to make sure that time has enough time to occur and you're not pulling them out before they're done. Greek with, why do you park in the driveway and drive in the parkway? Because you're driving to find a place to park. And you're parking so that you may drive. Matt C recommends Chino campers bring portable mustaches or those I knows Marx Brothers disguises and alternate wearing them in and out of the park to deceive the management of Prado Regional as if we weren't good Christian people or something, Matt C. That's his critical not fail wisdom solution to the Chino camping is bring a friend. Just imagine how wonderful the experience. You could be as close to me as Sylvia is. Right, this close. That close. We could be this close if you come to Chino. And wouldn't that be grand? Wouldn't that be grand? Ansel Man, practice mindlessness, said the yogi in Delhi as he sat and contemplated his belly. Okay. I'm not actually doing any of this. I'm putting dishes away. What did you say that was duly noted? Oh, was this duly noted? What? Magic in the Chama got some weird thing going on in the chat. Lady Magic. I'm intimidated. He didn't see the big truck coming as he sat. All right, man, Answerman, if you're gonna have me read your poetry, I'm gonna need you to bang it out like all together. I can't swim through everybody else's comments to find it. Only if everyone wears them. What? Okay, I'm gaslit now. Hey, Johnny. Does anybody want to come talk? I've been gone for a week and nobody wants to come talk to me. Is that what's going on here? Is that how this is playing out? Sylvia, what should we do? I should feed you. Sylvia thinks I should go feed her, guys. They got showers there, Matt. They have showers there. Though my pheromones are not to be trifled with, I'll tell you that. I will tell you. All right, thanks everybody. I'll see you tomorrow, theoretically, right? Unless this stream gets me another strike.